Welcome back to Complete Frontend. In this video, we are going to be learning use strict in JavaScript. What does actually use strict do? When was this introduced? Is this important for us? This might sound a bit new to you, but I'm going to make it easy for you to understand in this video. So let's jump right into the code. Prior to ES5, which was launched in 2009, JavaScript did not have this use strict method. JavaScript actually introduced something called as use strict. And how do you write use strict? So let me comment out this existing code over here, and you can just type use strict like this as a string. This looks like a string. If you come from another programming language, you know what is a string, but if you're not, that's absolutely fine. What you write inside of this quote unquote for now can be called as a string. Okay, so writing use strict like this enables certain features in JavaScript. So what does it actually do? Prior to 2009, while ES5 was present, certain features were not present in JavaScript, which reduced the security or which reduced the chances of not having bugs, that is, increase the chances of actually having bugs. So in ES5, JavaScript introduced a new feature called as use strict. So JavaScript has always been written in a way that the next version doesn't break the previous version. This concept in general in all programming languages is called as backward compatibility. Backward compatibility means when you introduce a new version, the previous version doesn't break. So you can understand it like this. For example, you add a new room in your existing house. Right? So say your house is of 4 bedrooms and you're adding a new room. There was an extra space in the terrace or something like that, you can imagine. And you're adding a new room, and that doesn't close out any existing rooms, right? You still have the 4 rooms and you're adding the 5th room. But for example, if you're modifying one of the bedrooms into a library now. So now that the bedroom is no more a bedroom, right? It is now a library. So for example, a guest comes in, they may not be able to use that room now as a bedroom anymore because there is no cot present. There is no bed present there. It's a library. It has a table and a chair perhaps. So that is breaking backward compatibility. So for example, a person who was coming there before and thinking that was a bedroom, no more finds a bedroom. But for example, I said, right, you are adding a new room. That is called as forward compatibility. That has backward compatibility. That means a room that is already present, but there is one more library as well now. Person who wants to still use the bedroom can still use the bedroom. If they want to use the library now, they can go to the new room in the house. Got it? So in ES5, JavaScript introduced certain new features which were again backward compatible. So it was put behind this use strict decorator, I would say, at the top, right? It's not really a decorator. You can just say that a switch kind of thing that switches on certain features behind that. So what does it actually do? Now to understand this, let's try to run certain pieces of code. Now I'm going to say x is equal to 10. And then I'm going to say console log the value of x is something. Okay, let's run it in the terminal. This time I'll be running it in the terminal now. So slash and it is hello.js. So let's run it. Value of 10 is 10, right? X is 10. There is no issue at all. But we did not declare variables. I just told you in one of the previous lectures that this is how you create variables, right? You need to use the var keyword, the let keyword, or the const keyword. So I'm not using any of that here, but I'm still able to create a variable. So it has created a variable by default. Now this was how you could do in the non-strict mode, that is prior to ES5's use strict. Now the same code, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put use strict over here. Now let's rerun this code. You see X is not defined, right? So there are certain features like this which were added after this use strict. And now it says, hey, you cannot create variables like that. Where is your variable? I don't see X anywhere. So now what I have to do is I have to say either var X like this, And then if I rerun the code again, it has no issues anymore. So there are many features like this as well. You can use strict inside of a function as well. So you can just say, hey, I just want use strict inside of this a plus b function. Okay, I know you don't know function set. Okay, you learn that in the future, but to explain this, just know that function is a set of instructions that has a goal. So for example, here a function is nothing but it adds certain numbers. Okay, don't worry about it now. We'll learn it in detail. Just know that you can also add use strict just inside of this function as well. Almost nowhere does this ever happen though. Usually use strict is added to the whole file. Now let's get back to this, what we know, and let's try to understand what's happening over here. X is created. Now if I just comment this out, there is X, X is present. I'll just remove this here. So X is at 10. Now I said that this is in strict mode. So it is expecting a variable to be present. But if I was not in the strict mode, then what would happen is it would automatically create that variable in the global scope. It would actually create it. It would just create a variable out there. Don't worry about the scopes again. Okay. So that is what non-strict mode does, if I may put it that way. Right. So what is the problem with this then? Why do we need to use strict? For example, it's 1,000 line of code. Usually in industry practices, it's not just 26 lines of code. You would be seeing something in the scale of 30,000 lines, 50,000 lines of code. When you're writing this many lines of code and you have a huge application and you don't use strict, there are multiple people working on the project as well, right? So one person thinks, hey, X is not created, let me call it as X. Now accidentally instead of creating X, he creates X1. Now what's going to happen? It probably is a typo. Maybe he creates XX, right? Because it can happen. It's a typo. Now it would create a new variable. If somebody is expecting him to give X as a value, if somebody is expecting to set the value to X, the second developer right now would not get the desired results because it has automatically created a variable called as XX. Now that is a problem, right? That's where use strict comes into picture, and it helps you not make or not create certain bugs like that. So that is what you need to know about use strict. By default, use strict is not enabled. If you need to use strict, it's always a good idea to start writing code by writing use strict. I would highly recommend not writing code in the non-strict mode. Always use the strict mode. And there are certain things called as classes and modules, which I don't want to get into and confuse you right now, but they will have use strict enabled by default. We will learn them in the future lectures, and I will again bring this topic up there as well. So don't need to worry about that. But if you're already aware, if you're a person who are already aware of these concepts, then this is for you. I hope this use strict method is clear to you. I would say just go and try to practice what use strict does. Try to create different kinds of variables, try to assign a value and all those things as well, and you will know how it works. I'll give you a small assignment. Try to create a variable, and to delete, there is a keyword called as delete. Okay, try doing this. Try deleting a variable in strict mode versus non-strict mode. Let me know in the comments on how it worked for you. That's all for this video. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. I'm putting a lot of effort to teach you all the front-end concepts in depth. I'm going as in depth as I can in every single topic. It's an extensive beginner to most advanced course on the internet right now. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.